Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Get okay. Welcome to Everyday Ish, and this is basically the first day of the installation process of the tempered glass on the project of the solar roof by Tesla. They were supposed to start 2 days prior to this video recording. This recording technically is on July 14th, and they were supposed to start on the 12th of July. They did come out the day before and install those brackets which you see above on the roof of the house. And that's basically for them to store the tempered glass, active and non-active panels on the roof, which you see them installing right now, instead of them having to bring it up and bring it down, etc., etc. As you see here, this is the end of the second day. It does get a little messy, so as I stated before, you may want to designate a spot where maybe your grass isn't gonna be hurting for a while, because that's what definitely happened to mine. But as you see in this drone footage right now, you kind of see like a bluish, purplish tint on the glass panels. Those are what they call the active PV. Uh, Basically, that's what's generating solar. They are staggered, as you see there. None of them are really touching the corners or the edges, just for the simple fact that there's metal in each corner, so they can't touch the electrical wiring that's converting the solar into the battery and powering the house or feeding back into the system, which out here is PSEG in New York. Also, as you see, they alternate the brackets to the opposite side of the house as they go along. That's me right there saying what's up. As the project goes along, just to make sure that nothing gets stolen. That's why they kind of keep some of the active panels or non-active tempered glass on the roof. As you see, the blue tarp is there, and which majority of the equipment is there. It's just too much to be stored on the roof. So on to day three of the project, which was on the 16th of July. As you see here, the front upper roof is basically done. Majority of that roof has active PV, which generates solar, as you can see by the discoloration, the bluish purplish, which I mentioned earlier before. But on the left side of the house, as you'll see when the drone pans out there for a second, the roof isn't on one pitched level. It has actually two different pitches. It has an upper pitch and then a lower pitch. And that actually ended up costing me active solar panels because there has to be metal underneath every transition going from one different pitch to another so the water can run off properly and not get stuck in the crevices of the roof line as you see in the rear. So on here on day five, which is technically on the 18th of July, I actually recorded this as I got home from work, and you can see that majority of the roof has been done. And this is where I kind of started noticing that I haven't heard anything relating towards the smaller roof line on the front of the house, which started giving me some kind of concerns just for the simple fact that they are really hands on with letting you know what's going on as they're working. But you also have to be diligent enough to ask questions because if you don't ask any questions, then you're kind of left in the dark. Communication is not one of the best things with this project, and I'll get into that in another video. Right here, you're seeing a different crew than the past, and that's another thing that you'll see here. Um, Almost every single day, there's different people at the property. Yeah, you'll get your few same faces and all that stuff, but there's always a different crew, which I didn't really like, just for the simple fact you kind of build rapport with these people that are working in your house, and then the next day you're building rapport with another different set of people, and then the following day, etc., etc. But take a good look at where that skylight is right now. That's going to play a key part in a day or two, and I'll touch base on that. But just want to let you guys see the positioning of that skylight as they're working around each skylight, making sure that they seal each skylight properly, because you don't want sitting water around any of the skylights, because that will cause some leaks down the road. So as you see here, this is the day before the last of the install project. And if you've seen in the last few days 2 trucks out front, is because the second truck is the electrical team working on the power walls from that basically generate and store the solar power that we're not using. So any excess power that we generate go into the battery, which help us power the house when the sun sets, and hopefully last us until the next morning. As you see, the mailman can't even get through all that construction and chaos and mess in the property. And another reason why I was recording every 2 days at this point was because at this part of the project, they were just bending a lot of metal work to get on top of the corners, underneath the tempered glass, above the tempered glass. It's a very tedious process, and each video that I was shooting every day, it didn't seem like there was a progression going on. So I just decided to cut every 2 days. And as I'm turning around the camera, if you look at that skylight that I mentioned from a few days earlier, they actually put a patch on it because it ended up falling. As you can kind of tell, now that majority of the roof was done, it's kind of sleek, especially on that back side of the roof. It's real steep, which is why they had to use anchors. So one of the guys actually by accident dropped the skylight, so it cracked, and they had to put a piece of that membrane that's underneath the glass just to make sure that there's no water leaking through. But Tesla said that it'll take care of it, and that they will end up replacing that skylight. It's a good shot right now of the worker fixing and doing the active PV wiring underneath the glass, so you have a good idea of how that really works. So the next video will be the final product. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so I can create more content for you guys. Appreciate it.